Watch the absurd ladies at The View have a meltdown as they ponder the reality that there may be more black men voting for Trump this time around over Kamala Harris. Guys, this is going to be a good one. I think you're going to like it. It's always nice to see the arrogance of the Democrats and really just see how out in the open and shameless they are about it. This is a prime example of that. As you'll see right now, they really believe they are entitled to the vote of a person, whether they're black, any kind of other minority, whatever. And it's really quite strange. So we're going to get right into it, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. But first, everybody, do me a huge favor over here. Like our video, share it around. And if you are new, subscribe to the Resist the Mainstream YouTube channel so we can keep bringing you guys this great content. And for those of you who are coming back, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. As always, everybody, I'm your host, Darian. Let's get into the clip.
Yesterday, Vice President Harris made a campaign stop on a special edition of the popular syndicated radio show, The Breakfast Club. She talked with host Charlamagne tha God about the choice America faces in this election and the lies being pushed about her record as a prosecutor. Take a look.
One of the biggest allegations against you is that you targeted and locked up thousands of black men in San Francisco for weed. Some say you did it to boost your career. Some say you did it out of pure hate for black men. Please tell us the facts. What's the facts of that situation?
It's just simply not true. And what public defenders who are around those days will tell you, I was the most progressive prosecutor in California on marijuana cases and would not send people to jail for simple possession of weed. You have two choices, or you don't vote, but you have two choices if you do.
The other is about fascism. Why can't we just say it?
Yes, we can say that.
Yeah.
They are trying to scare people away because they know they otherwise have nothing to run on. Ask Donald Trump what his plan is for Black America. Ask him.
You notice how Whoopi Goldberg called Charlamagne a populist, or at least his podcast a populist, right in the beginning of this clip? Yeah, the same populist who lets Biden sit there around and treat him like a...
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
And now, back to Whoopi for her brilliant analysis on the matter.
I mean, there you go. So, I mean, I thought we sort of talked about this yesterday, but will these kinds of appearances that she's making make inroads?
I think so, especially in terms of this.
Your hair looks gorgeous, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Whoop. Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate that. I think it will make a difference because of this division that they're trying to cause within the black community, and with this. I just think it's a fallacy that black men are the problem. Black men are not the problem. When you look at the stats, the New York Times just came out with a poll. 80% of African Americans will be voting for Kamala Harris, and that includes black men.
But it was more for Biden. I think that's the issue, right?
No, this is about Harris.
I know,
right, but Biden had greater support with black men than Harris did.
Yes,
Biden did.
But that still does not negate the fact that black men are still supporting Kamala Harris.
By and large.
Right? By and large. And so, we're not talking about white women. We're not talking about Hispanic men. We're talking about black men, and they're not the problem. And the demonizing black men, I think, needs to stop when it comes to Kamala Harris.
I think this is what Sunny's referring to when she talks about black men being demonized by the Harris campaign. It's really quite remarkable. Check it out.
Hello, ladies. I'm Trey. It's good to be here.
What do you do and how much do you make?
I work in finance, making six figures.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Do you have a plan to vote in November?
Nah, not my thing.
Yeah. It's bad.
The other thing that I think is really interesting is that she promoted her policies about what she will do for Black America, a black agenda, as opposed to selling Bibles and gold sneakers and thinking that a mugshot is going to help get the black vote. She pointed out that the Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration, black child poverty was cut in half. That's a fact I didn't know. She also said that they achieved the lowest black unemployment rate on record.
Yep.
You always hear Donald Trump saying that. That's just another one of his lies. And so I was happy that she went on this because I think it just let people know that she is not new to being black. even though Donald Trump says that, right? She's not new to being
He's the
black.
one who
She went to an
insults black men.
Yeah, she went to an HBCU. She's an
associating
AKA.
them with crime. He's the worst one on that.
I think the reason that this conversation around black men is happening is because the black vote has been such a core part of the Democratic base. And even with a little bit of slippage in numbers from support that Biden had in 2020, that could ultimately decide the race. But interestingly, I've never actually seen this as a race issue. So over the last 20 years, there's been a shift of working class voters from kind of the Clinton coalition of the left moving toward Donald Trump and more college-educated voters moving to the Democratic Party. I tend to think that this percentage of black men is more evident of just going with the party that's more representative, or that they feel is more representative of the working class. But there's some interesting data that we got as well, which is we've talked a lot about how Kamala Harris has an issue with men writ large, but there's this new YouGov survey that actually shows Donald Trump's lack of enthusiasm with women is a 10-point deficit, whereas hers with men is only 6 points.
Oh.
So that's actually more significant. As much focus as there's been as men aren't out there for Kamala Harris, well, women are really not out there for Donald Trump. A nearly 10-point deficit with 50% of the population matters. But listen, she needs...
Yeah, by far the smartest of the bunch. Not to say she's some kind of grand intellectual. This Alyssa Farah Griffin, I think is her name, which, she totally isn't. But she's totally right that you shouldn't be sitting there playing the race game and acknowledge the realities like that working class thing. Yeah, totally true. And by the way, she is totally right about men not liking Kamala Harris.
Keep doing these things. I think Charlamagne's brilliant. He's a great interviewer. She got asked some tough questions, but every time she brings it back to a forward-looking agenda, what she's going to do for communities, and making people feel like she actually understands their struggle, I think it's a win.
All right, let's talk about fascism for a second.
Okay.
Because that came up also. I think that you covered this other part. This is the definition. It's defined as a political movement that embraces the far-right nationalism and the forceful suppression of any opposition, all overseen by an authoritarian government. That definition has Trump's picture next to it in the dictionary.
Right.
I mean, he wants to send the military to attack liberals if he gets in. That is basically, and the king of fascism is Mussolini, who spoke better English than he does, by the way. And so I think that to say that he's a fascist is completely accurate. I mean, it does fit the definition. He wants to send the military in to attack his opponents. I mean, what more do you really need to hear?
Well, look.
I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on this one. When did Trump say that he was going to send military officials after liberals to go, attack them or do God knows what? Are you kidding me? Also, while we're at it, talking about people sending government after their political opponents, did we forget about something? Jack Smith's phony prosecution of Donald Trump, all the other ridiculous made-up lawsuits against Trump. Do these people have any self-awareness? Honestly, though, I don't think they're that stupid. And many of them are very good people, I imagine. I'm not even saying that they're bad people or looking down on them. Joy Behar, on the other hand, she knows she's a dishonest, lying hack. I really think so. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Is she dumb, dishonest? Maybe it's both. And while I think it probably is both, I think there's one that is more relevant and important than the other. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Look, for me, it has never really been about black men or men. It's been about men. There's this myth out there that black men can't handle being spoken to, and told what to do by black women. Black men come from our bodies. So black men have black mothers. So they're used to having these conversations with women.
The matriarchy is strong with the black
It is
community.
very strong.
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris.
Okay, Whoopi implicitly contradicted herself because first she says, yeah, they're in the house and they're listening. But then she also says, well, yeah, the matriarchy is strong. What is the implicit admission right there when she says the matriarchy is strong? Yeah, it is strong generally in black households, Whoopi, but maybe not for the reasons you're thinking. I'm just saying, all right? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just looking at reality and observing it with my eyes, all right? It's
is going to be a president who recognizes that she's not just one group's president, she's everybody's president. She has to be. She has to be. She has to be the president, and I'm sure everybody's figured that out. And a lot of what you're hearing is meant because the other side doesn't really have anything to say.
While Whoopi is sitting over there talking about how the other side has absolutely nothing to say, I have a simple question for her. Whoopi, what do you have to say? Particularly something that's of intelligence and insight. I'm waiting for that day. Maybe it'll come one day, maybe it won't. I don't know. But hey, that's why we're here, right? With all that being said, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and we really appreciate it. As always, please be sure to comment below. Let us know what you liked about the clip, what kind of stuff you want to see in the future, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thank you, and God bless.